You're listening to the official Brain Dead podcast with
Oliver, Grant,
Giles,
Jared, and Billy.
And if you're loving what you're listening to, please follow us on Twitter, SoundCloud, iTunes, and Spotify. And while you're at it, go on YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Enjoy.
You're listening to the official Brain Dead podcast. This week we're gonna get kind of jump back into the hypothetical questions that we haven't done that really in probably episode or two.
We've had some hypothetical conversations, but not we've not taken a moment to actually jump into some hypotheticals.
Yeah, and just go off topic completely and see where it takes us.
Yeah, so this episode, I think we're just gonna kind of solely sit on that and then shoot some shit. And
oh, I get it. It's like a meta joke. Like, this is the hypothetical episode. Like, what if we did hypotheticals for a whole episode?
Hypothetically, we're going to do hypotheticals for a whole hypothetical
God,
episode.
I regret this.
Anyway, I'm looking at a list of shit, Grant, you put into our Discord here. I like the worst place you could wake up.
Real quick, I put that list, I don't know, maybe a week ago in there.
You don't remember
Maybe. I don't remember any of them.
Yeah, that sounds like you. That happens a lot with
That
you.
is really your Twitter.
I feel like you should go back to your Twitter sometime and just look at the shit you
I bet they're funny.
Like, if anyone on here actually follows Grant on Twitter, just put notifications on. You'll have endless content.
You'll never run out of things to look at.
Yeah, there's like one day, like it was a solid 2 or 3 days where he was just posting this really just cryptic, mysterious shit.
It was very welcome to Night Vale.
Yeah.
So that was when I was between jobs at my job. And I was
find these for me?
Huh?
What are we talking about?
You remember.
Yeah,
them,
you remember because you texted me when I was doing like the
Daily
kind of
reminder.
spooky-ish story. The
Daily
daily reminders.
Oh.
Daily reminder, that's what
Yeah.
it was.
I saw the first few that were like funny and lighthearted, but then I stopped paying attention because there was like 20 of them in a day.
Yeah.
There was way too many daily reminders.
Well, that's
They weren't daily.
You can
I
never
think
have
it was-
daily reminders.
I don't know if it was specifically
We're going
because
off
of
Grant
anything,
days.
but I remember seeing like 5 posts where they're like, weekly reminder, don't be a jerk to people. And I'm just like, all right, well, here I go. I'm just going to go on this for a bit.
Oh, it was your whole, like, how Twitter had that trend of just repeating an opinion in all caps 4 times.
Yeah, but it was that, I saw it like 5 times that day, and I was like, okay, well, here we go.
Yeah, all right. So
we're going to delve into this topic.
Have to fucking
This
get
first
those.
topic here. What's the worst place you could wake up? And I assume we're talking like a cold blackout, like you don't remember even going to sleep there.
Yeah, I mean,
you wake up there.
let's preface this like, yeah, you go out one night and you drink, you black out, and you just wake up. There's no like story leading up to it other than you
have
went
no
out drinking
memory.
and you woke up.
You went somewhere, had a drink, all of a sudden you've woken up.
There's no
You're in
like,
that place.
I went home with the girl and she put me in a bathtub full of ice.
I'm trying to think of some really bad places to wake up.
I would go with the Hangover spoiler from this movie from ever ago. The roof with no way to get back in.
Like the roof of
Ooh.
a very tall building.
Yeah.
The roof of their like fucking massive.
It was their hotel.
Caesar's Palace.
Yeah.
It was the roof of Caesar's Palace where it was a one-way door. Like you couldn't.
Yeah, once
come
you open
in,
it and then, you need a key or whatever to get back in.
Yeah, they had to like put a cinder block. And
Yeah,
he just
getting up
woke
there and getting
and
sunburned
He
and-
stayed there for 2 days.
Being up there, being sunburned in the Nevada.
With
That's where
nowhere-
they bought
the
it.
sun.
Yeah,
Nowhere
so
to fucking
super
have
dehydrated.
shade.
It was like June in the middle of Nevada.
You know.
I think waking up in the middle of a forest, having no idea where anything is, like to the point where even when it's
Like just being lost in the woods.
like you know how at night there's like light radiation from cities and stuff like
But
that.
not
Like,
even
big-
seeing that.
yeah,
that far in.
it's like you can't even see that. Like
Yeah.
you're just
It's
in
dark.
the middle of fucking nowhere.
Like we're talking about waking up in darkness though, like the nighttime in the woods, or
Or
like
just
during the day.
I mean, either one would be pretty
Yeah.
I think during the day would be even worse because then it's like, you know, you think a city may be nearby, but then it's like by the time nighttime
You
comes
don't-
around,
in the
you
nighttime-
still don't see anything.
Yeah, you don't see that light radiation at
Yeah,
night.
you're like walking away and you're like, eventually lights will come.
I can't be that far.
Worse. I just saw one. It's like that. You guys ever heard of the water you can drown in but not drown?
Oh yeah.
What?
It's
Like-
like
Oh,
water.
you're talking about where it fills your lungs, but you
And
can
you can
breathe it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has enough oxygen.
It's like LCL
It
from
feels like
Evangelion.
It's a torture method. It's like
It hurts because your lungs have to like acclimate
Like-
to it.
the way some people in the U.S. supposedly use this as like they put someone in it, like and lock them in there, so they think they're drowning, and they make themselves so scared that they pass out. And whenever they bring them back out, they say they resuscitated them, and they're like, "We'll do it again."
And it's like they never died. They just
they just passed out from sheer shock of the situation.
Oh my god!
Well, and then when you pull them out too, I think they have to like vomit it and purge it out of their lungs.
Yeah, your body doesn't want water in your lungs.
Mm-hmm.
But it is safe to put in there. But I would not want to be in that water.
It's like just oxygenated enough. Oxygenated enough. Yeah, that sounds absolutely terrifying. I don't think there's a worse situation than that. But I'm just thinking of places.
I think the desert.
Yeah, the desert
it's like the same situation like you're explaining, but in the desert. Because then you're also running into that like, shit, I'm sunburned. I have nowhere to like not be in the sun.
Sand is coarse and
no water. Where am I?
There's
what
dirt
desert
under
am
my
I
fingernails.
Sand isn't fun to walk in for long periods of time.
Snake.
Indeed, snake.
Tarantula.
I mean,
bird.
Another one that would be terrifying for me is like on a little raft
in the ocean.
Yeah. Oh, that would be awful.
If like with no land masses in sight, and I'm just on the ocean somewhere.
See, I'm not like, what is the fear? I'm not claustrophobic.
Yeah, fear of open spaces.
Yeah, the fear of open spaces freaks me out.
That's why I think the desert would be spooky too.
Did you say I'm Santa Claus?
No,
scared of Santa Claus. Claustrophobic.
Oh, not close spaces. That's silly.
Ho ho ho!
Is that why that's called that?
Scaring him. No.
Is that why that's called that?
Claustrophobia.
Yeah, because Santa Claus comes down a little tight chimney.
Oh,
that's
claustrophobic. Just thinking of. No, I think it's some stupid Latin word or something.
Well, that's dumb.
Because Latin is stupid. What?
I like that Oliver's like actually pondering
the Santa Claus thing. I've never. Neat.
It's not spelled the same.
I know. It's not.
I'm claustrophobic. I'm scared of a fucking contract clause.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, true though.
I'm a pedophobe. I hate kids.
pedophobe.
You're not afraid of them.
No, I hate them.
You hate them.
What were you saying about Santa Claus?
He was saying he's scared of wide open spaces.
I wasn't.
You said something about Santa Claus, you dipshit.
Yeah, I know it's a joke.
Stop!
Giles, you're so fucking funny.
Do you think we would get on this podcast and make trickery on the internet?
You think people would just do that? Go on the internet and just lies?
Hey guys, have you ever Googled blue waffle? Ha ha ha.
Anyway.
Okay, anyways, yeah. What about you, Jared? What's a terrible place to wake up? Work?
That would be bullshit.
Dude, that would be bad to wake up at work after
Alright, I actually got a weird, complicated answer for this after him.
Just wake up at my desk like, oh.
Probably waking up being like a hostage for the Mexican cartel.
Oh, yeah, that'd be pretty bad.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Man, that is a Jared adventure if I've ever heard one. It ends up with you being in the cartel hostage situation.
Jared, how did we get in the Mexican cartel?
They're asking you questions, and every time
it's the cartel.
Like, there's some. I've watched some videos, like some of their videos of them cutting people in half and shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Yo.
They like
videos of that?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Where the cartel just cuts people in half.
It's just like ISIS. They got like fucking 4K video of them chopping a man's head off with like
4K 1080p fucking like full Sony HD full color.
They posted
fucking
65
HDR
screen, you know?
camera footage.
Maybe I'm just not going to these parts of the internet.
Yeah, now I'm just
No, it's on Facebook. Like they'll post it on Facebook and then they'll
put
get
it
the account
out.
banned and then they'll just make another one.
Yeah.
Cartel does that,
Wow,
and I think
just-
ISIS used to do that.
That just took me back to the time my young mind saw a guy actually get decapitated with a chainsaw.
Yeah, that was Cartel.
Yeah, fuck. God. Ugh.
Yeah, trigger warning for gore, I guess.
mean-
just talking about it.
Yeah, that would, if you're wondering, that will not be.
Yeah,
the
we're
video
not putting visuals for that.
They just ask you. They ask you questions, and then like every time you answer with a answer they don't like, they tie a balloon to you.
Or they're asking you questions.
They put one new balloon on you.
That
You're
would
gonna
be
fly
scary.
away.
Outside, tied to a chair. And just...
Because we'd probably be inside, so I'd just like float up to the ceiling. So like it'd be scarier if they were just like, if you don't answer this question, well, they'd be speaking in Spanish. I don't even know what the fuck they're saying.
Oh, what if you did?
They could be saying like, "You want some water? You want some water?" I'm like, "Please leave me alone." It's like they're like,
Alright,
"Hey,
cool.
I ain't know nothing.
I think that would be spooky if you did wake up in like a hot air balloon, like already in the air.
Oh my god.
By yourself.
By yourself.
And what if it was just like tied? What if it was tied so it just kept going
Oh
up?
god,
You're
I'm
just-
sick to
you're
my
just
stomach thinking about that.
Even if like that was still there, I don't know how to use it, and I assume I don't have my phone
At that
on me. I
point-
assume whoever did it
waking up in a wicker basket in the
in the
fucking
fucking
sky.
sky.
Constantly going up, apparently.
Just
You know what the... Alright, so I'm going to take it back a little wider.
you just look down, you're over water.
Oh,
Jump out and try to belly flop. Just
Try to
Try and end it.
instant die.
instant die.
neck first.
At that
into
point,
the water.
at that point, it's fucking concrete.
Yeah, that's
Basically. Yeah.
So going to a lighter answer, I'm gonna say I had this experience in high school
Oh.
where I woke up in a dream.
It was all a dream.
Exactly. It was all a dream moment because it was a Friday too. Like I went to school, I went to my classes, I talked to people, I had conversations back. I had band practice, and I went I went to bed. I went to bed and I woke up and it's Friday. I didn't actually have that day.
Yeah, I have once had the dream where I went through my whole day, but I constantly have like dreams where I think I'm already up and getting ready.
Yeah.
I think the worst possible thing to wake up to would to be back in like middle school.
Oh fuck!
That would
Dream
be
wise or
awful.
like genuinely?
No,
wake up?
like wake up and I'm in like 5th grade. It's like first day of 5th grade.
Dude, I would do
And, like,
so many
none of
things
this
different.
That's the
None of this happened.
You hit the restart button.
that would be
Right.
cool for that reason, but like there's so much that like I mean like yeah I would be able to avoid because I'd be able to change it, but like I just don't want to go through.
Me and Oliver
That
talked
again.
about this when we watched the anime Erased, which was like at one
Good
point.
anime, yeah. I mean, I've had this show come. Me, there's a class we had at MTSU. Me and Billy were in it together, where we had a group project where we had to like start our own TV station, and we came up with show ideas. One of the show ideas I came up with was a guy that is constantly switching from his present time to a younger time in his life, kind of like that show. I hadn't watched the show yet,
And it's like whenever he goes
so
back.
like
in
whenever
time,
he goes back,
change
he
stuff.
fucks up something that like changes the entire like way things happened.
Yo, have y'all seen Back to the Future?
Yeah, I mean that's awesome. It's the same kind of thing.
Also, that anime intro is a banger.
Yeah, no, but I would hate going back to my 5th grade self for a lot of reasons. Are we doing this on the assumption that everything I've experienced up to this point is still in my brain, and then I just wake up and
like you remember everything from.
So I remember getting married.
You remember the past 14 years.
I'd be weirdly asexual through high school
and
because there'll be young kids again.
I'd wake up and scramble downstairs. I'd be like, "Dad, Bitcoin, do it now!"
Like honestly, like
That's a good point,
I'm sure there's people out there that are just like, I know all the right things to say to girls in high school if I could go back and do it again.
Yeah, but
honestly,
I would be
that
high school.
that thought comes up a lot. It's like I have the brain of a 24-year-old. I don't want to talk to high school.
Yeah, I'd be ruthless. I'd be like, "Fuck off, bitch!" Like, there's so many. No, I'm not gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
Dude, and having to deal with
If anything, everybody would just hate me
like
because I would be so over any of their shit.
Yeah.
There's so many like dumb people in high school that you're like. At the time, I was just like,
Honestly, I probably wouldn't
I
have
won't
friends.
say anything, but like,
I'd probably lose all my friendships
Like-
if I was the only one to go back because, like, I really wouldn't be able to
If
deal
you were
with
the
half
only one.
the shit.
That's what I was about to
that
say. There's
even my high school guy friends were doing it.
yeah, I
there's
was gonna
people
say-
I loved in high school, and I still love. But like, if I went back to the way they were in high school, I'd be like, oh, fuck.
Yeah,
It
that
works
would-
because we were both terrible in high school.
yeah.
because
kinda shit.
that would be weird if like us three all went like we all went back to 9th grade and we were like, oh
Yeah.
shit, like do you guys remember the
it'd be
past
the
14
opposite for
years?
me.
Or?
All my
okay.
friends got crazy afterwards.
Oh, so you would
I would
reminisce.
rather have their high school friends.
Selves.
Yeah.
I think if we went back, like if whatever happened and we all went back to high school, and we knew each other and we were like, dude, did you come back from time?
Dude, the first thing I
You
would
two
do
would
is-
be in a totally random high school we didn't go to.
Yeah.
I would have immediately cut all my hair off because I had long hair.
The second that you went back.
The second I went back, I'd wake up and be like,
You're in the
"Mom, I
middle
need a
of class,
haircut."
and you're like,
There was a time in high school where
Fuck,
I had
I'd still
sworn
have
off
it.
soda, and then I binged back on soda, I would have not drank soda. That would have been one of my big things because it was working and my metabolism was there. And I wouldn't be the husky man I am today.
I think I would have started.
That's what's up.
I would have started.
He's in a
hitting
cave.
on-
We know where he is.
I would have just. You would have rang up. You would have rang up the White House and be like, "Hey, yo, I got some information."
I got some info.
except all they hear like a 5th grader voice this year.
Hey, I know where Osama bin Laden.
Hey, yo, I got some information for you.
Yeah.
They say who?
Who?
It's hiding, bro.
Wait, are we saying we're going back to high school, middle school, or elementary?
I mean, I don't know, man.
Okay.
Just
Well, if we went back up,
general,
yeah, I'd start hitting on MILFs.
Honestly,
I'd have that mature self to me that I could like.
I had like one dude I knew who I thought. Well, there's 2 dudes I knew who I
You
was
thought
like.
it was a dilf?
No, that I thought their mom was attractive.
Okay.
No, my teachers were.
I mean, maybe I would feel different now. Like if I went back as I'd have a 24-year-old mindset. Maybe I would find more of the moms attractive.
Yeah.
But like looking back on it, I can only think of 2 moms that I was like, they're very pretty.
I'd be like, hey, Miss Teacher, you looking good today.
Miss Teacher. That's a
Miss
Because I almost said her actual name.
Miss Teacher would then
I
go,
wanna
"You're a kid."
Maybe.
No, it's wrong. Just since
Hey, bro, she was a chocolate chip.
Only physically.
Oh.
But you would be a kid.
Can I tell you about
You'd be still chocolate though.
this kind of fucking
mini Snickers.
Yeah, bro.
All right, what's up, guys?
This kind of stemmed into like from my dream. Did I ever tell you about the fucking super spooky dream I had recently?
Please tell us. I've heard it, but please tell us.
So I have weird, vivid dreams that I remember.
Here, real quick.
Yeah.
I just don't want that being as bent as it is. I just realized how like rubber it was.
Yeah.
All right. Fucking actual clap. Sick. Oh my god. All
This
right.
one's my cheeks.
This is a small.
That's why it sounded weak.
Yeah.
All right.
I got a little booty.
So, like, I just have these weird dreams that are weirdly, like, I remember them clear as day, because, like the fucking school one. I went to school, I read things. You're like, you can't read in dreams. I fucking read.
I read.
Did you learn anything from it? 'Cause
Yes.
that'd be really cool.
I think. My school was awful.
Just wake up and you know it's
My education was wasted. I'm not as smart as I should be. But so this one was like a few weeks ago, and I was just coming downstairs, and it was in this room, so you guys that are actually here can see visual aids. Like, I came down the stairs to get some water. I go over and get some water out of the fridge, and I hear like something outside. So I peek through the door, like the blinds on the door, and I see the parking lot is completely empty with one street light on that's out there, and it has 6 people in white robes looking down in like a semicircle looking at one that was a little bit taller, and it was red with the hood down, and I was like, this is fucking freaky.
My first thought was the KKK was outside.
My first thought was it's a bunch of people that just want to kick your ass for no reason.
No, they're not.
KKK,
The hoods weren't.
They want you dead.
It's the 6 people.
The taller one is the bear.
It's the first episode.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, that's the reference we were making.
Yeah, no.
The brain dead game verse.
The hooded people weren't pointy heads, so no clan affiliation.
Were they round?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Were they square?
they were hoods.
So round.
Round.
Yeah.
Oh, I almost made a really
Were they round? Yes. Were they square?
Anyway, as I took this,
No.
as I took this in, I was just like, "This is weird." I kind of said that to myself, and the red hood slightly tilts my direction, but not looking up. Just kind of like looked over, and I was like, the blind down.
Okay.
And I start walking back. I get to the corner of the stairs, and I hear a scratch on the door. And I was like, And I'm just watching the door now, and I see, a silhouette, and I see from where the door, like the handle is,
Yeah.
just a bunch of fingers just coming through the door.
Like the crack in the door?
The crack in the door, through the locking mechanisms and stuff, and turning the unlocking and turning the knob and pushing it open.
Yeah, that fucks.
And it's the party free. And the door just goes full wide open. I see, this is a detail I forgot. The rest of the white hooded ones are like in the semicircle behind. The red one steps in, slowly closes the door, locks it, and holds out her hand, and it has like foot-long fingers, and just has full hand, and then starts counting, like putting down fingers. And as soon as it reached one, as soon as it closed, I woke up, and I was like, what the fuck time is it? And then my fucking alarm blares in my ear.
Holy shit, that's spooky.
I wanted to finger blast my butt with them foot-long fingers.
So what's the weirdest, like, most vivid dream everyone's had?
So that's actually what I was going to dip into, because that is on this list. Worst nightmare you've ever had.
Okay,
I guess that's your worst nightmare.
Or, well, if you wanted, if you have another one.
Oliver thinks it's a sequel to another one.
He had a dream where he basically, in short, what you told me is that you were in a room.
Like an office building.
And you look over and there's a big tank. And in the tank is a big goldfish with human teeth.
Yeah, you told us about that.
And it talks to you. Yeah. It like says some cryptic shit to you, and then you wake up.
And I was late for school, and it was talking about how it said I was late, but I wasn't too late.
It's the Giles.
So I feel like those people in the hoods worship the fish, and that you are the fish's chosen one.
I think they kind of do.
I think you're a warlock, and your patron is the big fish.
You're having full-on visions, dude.
Yeah, it's
so fucking Raven of you.
It kind of has the same vibe as another one I read on like Reddit. I can't remember where I saw it.
Read something on Reddit.
Yeah.
How relatable. Oh.
It's like this guy met this guy on a bench, like an old man on a bench, and they're just looking at the night sky. It was like completely. Like, it's a city night sky, so it was just clear. Yeah.
Can I talk about a dream I had recently?
Yes.
That, like, it wasn't like it wasn't a scary dream. It was a weirdly calming dream. It was a religious dream, which is bizarre for me. But, like, in the dream...
Jesus dapped you up?
No, Jesus and me were playing video games.
Oh, yeah, you told me about this.
What game are you playing?
I think it was, like, Borderlands or something. Because it was some couch co-op game we were just playing together. And, like, we're just talking, and he's just like, you just need to chill out, dude. Just stop worrying. And I was like, you know what, dude? You're right. Thanks, Jesus. And, like, Jesus. I just woke up, and I was like, that was, like, a weirdly calming dream.
That was the gamer version of that classic religious story of, like, the guy walking on the beach with Jesus and looking at the footprints.
That's pretty much what it was.
Jesus just had a relatable moment with you.
That's probably the most.
That dude liked the beach. I liked video games, and he just was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get into your dream and be like, chill out."
Did he talk about how he thought it was funny that you thought Asperger's and
ambergris?
No, he didn't talk about that, but I think that he would have liked it because in the dream he did have like good humor. Because I remember like, me being like.
Sorry.
Kind of like, sorry about, like, saying some of the jokes I do. And he's like, nah, dude, it's fine. I don't hold that over you. And I was like, cool, man.
Wait, so was this like the hipster Jesus from the very first episode with the movie we talked about?
No, it wasn't that cool, but it was like...
he wasn't that cool.
He was cool for me.
Yeah, he was chill. He was a chill dude to play.
He was the Jesus I needed. Gamer Jesus.
Honestly, like, the most vivid dream that I've ever had was when I was, like, 4, and I still remember it. I lived in Manchester for a year because spooky.
Oh,
but I lived there for about a year because I went to preschool there, and the kitchen was like in the back of the house, and there was a door that went into like the backyard and the driveway and stuff. And what I remember is we had a TV, like one of the old box TVs that was up on a TV stand because like the dining room and the kitchen were basically one big room, and there was just. Okay, do you guys remember the spider from Billy and Mandy?
Yes, Jeff.
Mm-hmm. There was a big spider that looked like that was just underneath, like, and it had, like, a web the size of itself, and everyone else in my family were in the living room just, like, looking in, freaked out, and I was in there with it. And then it just, like, unhooked its jaw, so it was, like, as big as I am now, and then just grabbed me and put it in its mouth, and it had, like, white ball pit balls. And then I woke up, and that's the most vivid dream
you
I've ever had.
fell into a hole of white ball pit balls?
Yeah.
That it had it in itself?
In its mouth.
You know what he gave
Those
you?
were eggs.
You know what he gave you? 2 extra hours in the ball pit.
Oh no! Oh no!
Jared
That was
just
Tumblr
shaking his
Con.
head.
As I know, Jared fears spiders more than anything now. I just saw all the nope in his
Yeah,
face.
he was just shaking his head the whole story.
I've had some like vivid like sleep paralysis, but like I don't think I've ever had any nightmares that I like have a nightmare and I'm like, holy shit, that was spooky.
It's just running away from things nightmare wise. The dreams that I remember the most are probably like the ones that are like the lucid ones where you can just control the whole entire thing. Where mine's like I led a rebellion, became a dictator, destroyed the world.
Cool.
It's fun.
Wow, dope.
Yeah, I think my nightmare dreams I typically wake up from and I'm like, that'd be a cool movie. That's a cool concept.
My nightmare
like,
dreams aren't usually about like monsters. They're usually about like home invasion.
Yeah.
I have a lot
I've
of
never had one like that.
I have a lot of dreams where like I have like 3 kinds of dreams. One of them is home invasion, where like I'm just in a house that I know or don't
You're the
know.
invader.
No, I'm in a house that I know or don't know, and like a home invader comes in, and I either like run like hell or like I fight them, and like I wake up during that. Or I have a lot of dreams where I just lose my teeth.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that's a common
Yeah,
stress
that's
dream. Where like something bad just happens to my teeth in some way or
But then you
another.
get a new perfect set.
I did have the weirdest teeth dream I've had is like one time one was loose in there and I pulled it and like in an Eldritch horror fashion like more like
Kept coming.
more like vein kept coming out.
Oh!
Like nerve.
Like gore.
Yeah.
Gore just kept coming out of it.
Stimpy, dude.
Like I just was pulling it and it was like
fuck.
piling in front of me and like pulsating and I was like and I woke up from that.
Oh,
And I was,
yeah,
like,
no, you just remind me of
terrifying.
another vivid dream.
It was
I
the
remember.
grossest thing. I would like
God, I
more-
must have
more-
had this.
I've never gotten faster out of my bed and like walked around. I was just like, oh my gosh.
I gotta get that out of my head.
You reminded me that more often, I think it's just been this past year of being like married, and I don't know if it's like kind of that like stress of like, gotta keep my wife safe that like pops into your head. But a lot of this like, I guess in this past year I've had a lot of dreams where like, we live in an apartment, and I keep having these dreams where like I'll get up to my apartment door to like unlock the door, and like me and Haley will be there, and like someone comes up and they're like, I know where you live, open the door, let me have whatever you have or whatever, like with a gun. They're just like, hey, this is a robbery. And like in the dreams I'm always like, all right, whatever, dude. And like I'll keep unlocking it and like I'll start to shut the door behind me and he's like, I'm serious. And I'm like, okay. And then he like shoots me and I'm like on the ground like, shit, I didn't think you'd do that.
I didn't think he meant
You know what? Genuinely, probably me. If I talk to Oliver about this all the time. Like, if we were in like a robbing situation, I'd be like the most compliant person ever and not freaked out.
Yeah.
It's like if I always just think of these weird scenarios, like we're in a gas station going to D&D or something. It's like, what if one of these people just pulls a gun and just starts waving around? It's like, get out. I'll be like, all right, boss, listen, I'm just gonna sit down. I'm gonna keep my hands here. And I'm just gonna put them on my knees.
You can have the $3 that's in my wallet. I'm gonna call and cancel my cards the second you leave anyways.
You think I have money on my card? I'm $200 in the red, boy.
Like, this doesn't affect me.
It's like, and I'll tell him, like, you think I'll take time out of my day to call the cops and tell them what you look like? I can't remember what I ate today.
I'll just
You're
cancel my
sitting there
cards.
like, yo, do you got an extra gun? Let me help you out.
As far as like
I won't say I'll help you, but I mean,
speaking of like slightly religious esque dreams, you know,
before you go on that, your vein one reminded me of a
Okay.
visceral one that I remember from my childhood. It came off
dream
the
still makes me.
It
shiver.
came off the
Gross.
back of like me going fishing with my dad, and I accidentally, hooked myself because that just happens in dreams. Not dreams. It just happens when you go fishing sometimes, and you're not careful, especially when you're a dumb fucking kid like I
I mean,
was.
they're purposely sharp.
Yeah,
So
my
I
dad
was
had to
like,
go to the
immediately I was
emergency
just like,
room.
ow! But looking back, I was probably just like it just picked up some skin a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I could just pull it out. But I had a dream later that night. This is gonna make you super uncomfortable, by the way.
I can't wait.
Gore.
I'm not bracing myself.
Yeah, gore warning right here. My dad, I was just sitting there watching my dad fish at the fishing hole that we go to, and he like rears back the fishing rod and casts it forward. It hooks my wrist here. This group of veins.
No.
And when he pulls it, it pulls my entire vein system out through my wrist.
Oh no!
Then I woke up. That's all I remember.
A little bit.
That is like I'm imagining this in a movie like The Greasy Strangler, where it's like almost comedically gory, where it like happens and you're like,
it's almost cartoony. Like the veins come out and it's the shape of me.
Yeah.
It's like, that's exactly what I was thinking of. I didn't even think it was gory at all.
Yeah, that's the
it's like you pull it out and you're just like your veins just turn back and it's like, what the fuck, dude?
Like I thought about it both ways, where it's like, yeah, it's still the shape of you, but I also thought about it like being like, like it's all coming out, and I'm like,
as a little kid, life's a cartoon, man.
Yeah,
the classic.
So that happened,
bit
like it's the way he imagined it happened. It was like full body still, and just me saying it out loud. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be fucking gross to adults. I've never told anyone that.
Well, here we are.
Now the internet knows.
I'm fucking surprised.
I'm not a hugely religious person, and this isn't like a very vivid dream. I didn't like talk to Jesus or anything, but I do remember there was a time my dad's. I want to say he's Irish Catholic. I might be wrong about that, but I know he is Catholic. And for a while, when I lived at home with him, he had put crosses over our beds.
Like rosaries or crosses?
Crosses, like full crosses. Like, and it wasn't a big deal. I didn't care. I never thought much of it. I was just like, oh, it makes Dad feel good. I'll let him do it. But I remember one night, way back when, I was just sleeping. I had been up late playing like video games or something, and I was probably like 16, and I had just been sleeping. And I remember kind of being in a moment where I felt like I was about to have sleep paralysis, because I've had it before, but this felt different in the sense that like I don't feel like I could hear anything around me like I usually can when I have sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
And so all I really remember from the dream is that I got really warm. Like I felt warm all the way down my body, and like it happened from a really far distance and it got close to me. I heard like this faint sound, and as it grew, it like started ringing in my ears as almost like some sort of like angry screaming. And I remember like the only like thing I could see when I like tried to open my eyes was like I just saw red, and I like woke up in a sweat, and I usually sleep on like my side or my stomach. I was like stiff as a board in the bed on my back, and I was looking up at the cross, and like I like was just like
That's laying on my back is the only time I get sleep paralysis.
It was a weird, but I didn't remember like fall. I like.
Yeah, I mean, you can accidentally toss that.
I know I can toss and turn, but like it was just a weird like my blankets were like on me perfectly, and I was like looking upward, and I was like,
it was like just uncomfortable.
Yeah,
like,
and that's the only like I'd say religious experience I've probably ever had.
I've never really had sleep paralysis, but this is gonna be kind of hard to explain. I tend to have these dreams where like I'm like 20% awake, 80% asleep, and I just keep telling myself like there's something you have to do before you can sleep, and I just see like these weird shapes and
that's sleep paralysis. And also, to be fair, you have also talked in your sleep and walked in your sleep.
Yeah, you are a sleepwalker.
I mean,
not anymore.
When we,
not anymore.
You definitely were.
We've had like times. That's true.
I'm pretty aware now.
No, we've had times.
We all got a lot of good sleep.
We wasn't saying it stopped. He just evolved to a sleep crypt walker.
I mean,
he's sleepwalking right now.
There's multiple times where like you've woken up while we've been like crashing at Logan's house,
and you've been like talking to us.
You'll walk around the room real mad and be like, "Where's the armadillo?"
You have said that. That was my favorite one.
Where's the armadillo?
You were very frustrated walking around. You were like throwing stuff off of tables.
Well, and he's done the same thing too, where it's the exact same stuff. But he was saying, "Where are the papers?"
Yeah, that's the one.
That one.
That's the one where you were like,
"Yeah, you woke up
shoving
that way."
I remember that one.
And we were like, "What are you talking about?" And you were like, It's nothing.
You were getting frustrated with us, and then when we asked you about it, I think is when you woke up and you were like, "Oh, don't worry about it."
Well, I remember because like the way the sleeping arrangements used to work, Oliver would always get the couch. I don't remember how you would set you would sleep.
Usually an air mattress.
Yeah.
Either the air mattress or the bed for a time.
Yeah, and then I would just put these two recliners together and sleep that way. And I remember it was over towards the corner near where the door was in the basement. Mm-hmm. And then I remember just all I remember is just coming to and looking over, and all three of you were just like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And I was like, "Nothing." And I went to sleep.
Yeah, it was very, very visible anger into I'm being dumb, and you just went back down.
I was just sitting here stewing on just the creepy hand lady I was just talking about.
Yeah.
And I remember my grandma telling me a story about how she says that my dad told her that she saw a witch in the kitchen, or he saw a witch in the kitchen.
Oh God!
A witching in the kitchen.
Apparently he just got up in the middle of the night and went to his kitchen.
It's the Brat Rattler.
And he saw a lady standing in the kitchen.
You're about to get hereditary or something. There's something going on.
And then he went to sleep, but it was when he was a young kid. Dude, what the fuck is happening?
A witch was in my fucking kitchen, and she let out her hand.
No, you got this kitchen, this little kitchen witch is trying to fucking take you back in time and diddle you. He's a fucking rat.
Those are diddle fingers, dude.
If I have a son and he tells me he saw a dream that he saw a witch in the kitchen, I would be like,
it started with your father and it ends with your son.
Yeah.
Yo. Man. That's why the bloodline has to die with you, Giles.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's fair.
I gotta stop the apocalypse from coming. It's getting closer.
The prophecy.
It was counting down.
Prophetic.
What?
Prophetic.
Dreams are weird.
What does that mean?
It's pathetic, but prophetic. I don't know what's the word for
All right. I got another one here that I like when I read it. Was in a world with no guns, what realistic weapon would you master if war came?
If you had to defend yourself and you had to master a weapon to regularly defend yourself. Yeah,
brick.
Okay, real weapon.
No.
Just brick.
Okay, elaborate, Billy.
You'll make a lot of ghost
You take a brick.
One single brick?
You can throw it. You can hit people with it. You good.
I like to imagine it's a cinder block, and you can put a chain through it, and then you can also throw it in the pool.
Yeah, there we go.
Swing brick.
The swing brick.
That's the new Monster Hunter weapon.
Halberd.
Halberd?
Yeah.
Who's that? No, I'm just kidding.
That's bad.
Big old spear, but it's also an axe.
Yeah.
I think a trident would be really cool.
It's like a pole arm.
Trident would be cool, yeah, because tridents are meant for breaking swords and stuff.
So basically, we're in D&D now. No guns.
No. I mean, it's modern day. Everything's the same as right now, except your neighbors are
guns
probably going to jump you.
You know what? Actually, bow.
Yeah, bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that would be a good one to know.
I think I'd probably
get so good with it you can do it close range.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably try to get good with just hand to hand, and brass knuckles or
be a really good puncher.
Yeah, a really good puncher. Or kicker. Maybe kicks would be cool.
Man,
I buy Nikes.
Everyone would be specialized in a weapon and grip.
I assume
don't talk about.
Are we Are we being drafted for war? Or are we just talking about what weapon would we master? If,
you're being drafted for war. Let's say you are being drafted for war, and they are okay, pick a weapon. We're going to train you in this weapon.
Okay, so I was gonna say if it was just to defend myself, I would just become really good with a bow staff because that's a weapon that's gonna disarm somebody. But isn't necessarily out for blood.
This can also,
to an extent, welt the person
to an extent. This can also be fictional weapons. We'll say even Monster Hunter weapons.
Oh my god!
Chain blades.
That
gets wacky.
Yeah.
No, I'm not meaning you can't pick I want. This goes to what we talked about a while ago, but you can't say an Ava or a Nick. Yeah. I'm talking just weapons.
Well, Monster Hunter weapons are ridiculous. You ain't swinging a great sword.
Yeah, but you know what I mean though.
You gotta train.
Yeah, you gotta train.
You gotta train with it.
That thing's stupid heavy.
Also, not even gonna cut things. It's gonna fucking.
No, you're just gonna smash them.
Yeah, especially if you're just fighting another person. Like that greatsword just gonna go into the person. It's gonna mash him into a fine puree.
But I think I would definitely master like archery or like get really good with a crossbow or something.
Yeah,
I mean if
range is pretty much the way.
Because I'm just gonna be like, no, you're not coming near me. Because if guns aren't a thing,
crossbows
aren't
a thing. We'll say crossbows aren't a thing. It's got to be
bow
like
and arrows.
Yeah,
I'll just.
I'd go.
Or slingshots.
I'm a pretty good shot. I was on a shooting team.
I think slingshots would be cool because it'd be the bludgeon.
But if I had to master like,
and you could just use rocks, you wouldn't have to use like specific
melee weapon.
You just pick up anything and just.
I feel like I would just learn basic.
That's the sidearm for the
sword and board tactics. Like I would just want shield and like a short sword. Short sword.
I think I'd have a big pair of scissors.
A big pair of scissors.
Yeah.
Like from Kill la Kill?
Yeah, well, except, okay, so they're together.
Yeah.
Right? But it's sharp on the inside and on the outside. So you could put them together and just use the whole thing as a sword.
So basically,
you could also open it up and cut it.
So it's basically just like shears, but sharp on both ends.
Yeah, and big, yeah.
And then you can split it and make two swords.
No, I won't go that far, because they've got to be, like, together for me to be strong.
I mean, yeah.
What about you, Jerry? Rapier. Oh, I poke you.
Poke their belly button and then their eye.
That's
the combo.
That's the combo.
Belly button eye.
My belly button. Oh my eye.
And you keep all the eyes you take.
You keep all. That's it. This is my eye collection.
My eye pouch.
So with that, there's another one on that list. If you could put it like in any fantasy world, what would you want to be put into? Like,
oh man.
Like what what do you think you would be good in?
Yeah, what world would fit you? So like if you were put into Harry Potter, you would be a wizard. No, you're not just gonna be a muggle in the Harry Potter world. Pokemon, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, things like that. D&D even if you wanted to be put in that canon.
Any anime or cartoon or anything or
I think Pokemon for me.
Oh
personally.
yeah.
Pokemon sounds like a safe bet.
Because like you could say Harry Potter, but you'd just be a normal person in
No,
Harry
you'd
Potter
be a wizard.
world.
You'd be a wizard. Now you may not be like a great wizard, but you'd be a wizard.
You'd have innate
You'd at least have
magical
magic abilities.
Oh yeah, dude, I'd fucking do that.
Yeah, I do Harry Potter, absolutely.
Yeah, honestly, my first thought is to go to Harry Potter just because I feel like there's a lot of stuff I want to figure out in that
world.
Well, they only show us like within the series itself, including Fantastic Beasts.
One arc.
They show us, Britain. They show us like where they go to school. Yeah. They mention the American school, and then they show the Russian and the French school, but they don't really show anywhere else. So,
do they not show an Asian school? I thought they had an Asian one.
No, I think
maybe it's just an Asian character that's in.
Yeah, you're talking about Cho Chang.
Yeah,
but she goes to Hogwarts.
But yeah, it would just be because
that's weird.
Because in that world, like
I'm sure there is.
And they talk about it. They talk about it a little bit, and it's mentioned that it's possible. Like a lot of the magic, it can just be like crafted to your specific need,
in your profession.
Like and like people can like, for the most part, invent spells and like.
Well, you ever think about it? Like the spells they say, there's fucking Latin.
Yeah,
like,
that too. But like, for instance, like spoiler, Snape makes up a lot of spells like Muffliarto and stuff like that. Yeah, and they're like specific niche. They're like specific niche things that he wanted to be able to do, and some of them weren't tested as much as others.
What's that spell called?
What is it?
Muffliarto?
Yeah, it's a spell that specifically you cast it on a person and it makes a buzzing in their ear so they can't eavesdrop on you.
Muffliarto. It's funny that he's like, yeah, I mean I get that, but he's like an incel and he's got a fucking spell about muff.
Anyway, I think it would be neat. I would be researching into all sorts of ways to make spells that just fit my needs. I would also incorporate, Muggle science and magic because I want to know what those two put together do because they don't talk about it a lot.
Well, yeah, because like in my opinion, magic has always just been science that hasn't been explained yet to a degree.
I think the reason I would do Pokemon is because you wouldn't have to hide anything from anybody. Like, you wouldn't have to hide the fact that you're a wizard from, like, the normal world. everybody has fucking Pokemon, and then like Pokemon are pretty much like magic on their own. So like, I can have multiple Pokemon to do specific things, or even for like my job, if I were a cop, I could have like a fucking big Growlboy.
My next choice would be Naruto. I would want to be a ninja.
That'd be a cool one, yeah.
Because I would want to train to be a ninja.
Mm-hmm. What do you think your like specific ninja skill would be, or like what would you?
I think it might be based off your astrology, actually, in that show.
So what?
I guess I would be good at Earth ninjutsu then.
Okay.
I think Avatar would be pretty cool if it was in a time.
Yeah, Avatar would also be a really cool one. I'd
as long
love
as
to
it's
be
not during the actual time of Avatar, like the last Airbender.
Like the actual.
But I mean, all the power fantasy shows are cool.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. What you're bad at?
I'm so bad at
dispelling rumors about you, about how
he's
you've got a big
shit
wiener.
on Naruto.
Yeah, it's more like
that was a throwaway thought. I don't know if that's true.
I was about to say it's a whole clan. I don't imagine.
No, I mean like some clans are specifically because of bloodlines. Like the Uchiha clan is naturally good at fire ninjutsu. But like I was thinking that maybe like it also had to do with just like people being born at certain times and stuff like that.
Because some of them come from families that don't have a specific anything.
Yeah, like I mean, I guess everybody in that show is technically a clan of some sort.
I guess so, yeah.
Except Broccoli.
Yeah, and he
doesn't do anything.
Any kind of specific jutsu.
You'd be specifically Choji.
Or is it characters based off your astrologies?
Yeah.
Yeah, Choji. Yeah, he big boy.
That'd be a cool one though. He's got cool stuff.
I have Choji's body type, so it'd work out.
That'd
be a butterfly.
That'd be Hinata.
Sure.
Yeah, Hinata's bae. What about you, Jer?
The world of the manga, the new gate. I'd be a high human.
What's that?
Yeah, elaborate. I'm not sure what that is.
It's just.
What's a high human get?
You know, what kind of cool powers?
Do they just get treated better?
They're basically just gods at that point because there's not many left.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
Is Newgate the one where it's the dude who's a god that does stuff or something? No, sorry, no, wrong one. I don't remember that one. I've heard of it though.
The Newgate is basically it was they were playing a game, and then they beat the final boss, obviously, and all the high humans are people that had a character in the game. But one of the guys that was in the party that beat the final boss was, instead of waking back up in the real world, he wakes up in that game still, but the world is slightly changed a little bit. And from what he can tell, he's the only player that's in the game still, and he just kind of like goes about his life in the game, but still is trying to leave at the same time. But he's like the strongest person in the entire thing because he was a player, which is a high human, and there's not really any.
Say what you want about the trash anime, but I think it'd be kind of cool to be in Sword Art.
That's what I was just about to say.
Just because it would be like a normal world, except video games are much cooler.
Well, no, I mean, I'm even talking about specifically the world of Sword Art.
No, but would you want to? Are you talking about like a specific game in Sword Art, or just the world itself?
Well, the world itself would be cool. But...
That would mean there would be games that you can full dive into, like multiples of them.
And I think that would be
AR
cool.
was big according to Alicization, or the movie before Alicization.
And that would be cool because like you would have all these different things you could do, but you'd also have like a progression system that you would actually like physically or visibly be able to see.
Yeah.
Instead of just being like, I think I'm becoming a better wizard. You'd be able to be like, my stats say I'm becoming a better wizard.
Yeah, it seems like the games are really well designed, aside from keeping everyone in there or allowing.
Yeah, I was about to say, except for the twice that they've been like fucked with.
Post Sword Art Online.
Yeah, like
post Death Gun.
I
guess the gun didn't really do anything. It was just psychos.
So once the seed was planted at the end of the first arc, and then they were able to play Alfheim and SAO.
I think. I'm surprised you didn't say this, but Avatar.
We did say
we mentioned it.
Did you?
Yeah, we said
I was probably looking up.
You were looking up
Naruto shit.
Astrology.
No, Avatar would also be cool, but only if you were actually a bender.
Yeah, it's not during.
This hypothetical says you would be whatever, like
Legend of Korra. There you go.
I'd be bending.
Not saying you'd be the.
I'd
Avatar.
be metal bending everything.
Not saying you'd be the Avatar.
The 1920s. era.
Yeah,
Legend of Korra.
Yeah, but once again, just
Jazz
like,
era.
As long as none of those major conflicts are happening, I would be okay with it.
Oh, fuck it. That's Avatar's job.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's a valid
Fair
point.
enough. Like, we'd be the benders that go to the fucking... What was that sport called?
Professional bending.
Yeah, just professional
Pro
bending.
bending? Yeah, pro bending would be a lot of fun.
Like, they live in pretty much harmony with some outliers.
I know some porn stars that are pro benders. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god.
You've done it now, Greg.
Like crazy conflict that just goes on in the political world is like fucking benders are better than everyone else, and if anything, I'm on the better side of that if I'm a bender. I don't want it to be like that, but hey, it's not affecting me that much.
What I'm seeing here is who would you cast to play yourself in a movie?
No clue.
Yeah.
I would totally pick Seth Rogen. I feel like he would represent me well. I feel like
you guys kind of got the same.
Yeah, we kind of got the same face a little bit. Seth's prettier than me, but you know, it's all right. I'll deal with that. I feel like it would work out well. I feel like he's chill.
I don't really know who I'd get to play specifically me. I don't know.
Danny DeVito.
I mean, that'd be a fun one to have playing.
Danny DeVito is all of us, just in a different costume.
I don't
He's
know.
Nutty Professoring it. Just
What about you,
multiple people.
I mean, I'll come back with mine. I'm just thinking right now.
I don't know. My first idea was like Daniel Radcliffe. Maybe.
That'd be a good one.
But
I was asking him the time.
Oh.
I feel like I've got a pretty average, white male haircut and facial hair going on. So there's a lot of guys you can
Michael Cera?
Michael Cera. No.
No, I feel like Daniel Radcliffe would.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Would work for you, definitely.
Fat Jonah Hill for me. Super bad Jonah Hill with a better
Super
haircut.
bad Jonah Hill.
With another
That
with another
era.
haircut.
You have a much better haircut than Jonah Hill.
Yeah, I know. You'd have to wear a wig.
We love you, Jonah Hill.
Please listen to.
I was just curious because I uploaded a picture onto like a celebrity lookalike thing to see what they would come back with.
Okay, what do they think you? Who do they think you look
Charlie Daniel.
like?
I don't know why.
The other one down to George.
The other option was Ryan Dunn, but
Oops. Oh. He's
um,
Ryan Dunn, if you know what I mean.
I
I feel
Wow.
bad. I feel bad.
I feel bad.
I mean,
I feel bad.
man, how long has it been?
Been a good number of years.
I was just say he's.
It's
Yeah.
alright.
I think he died in like 2012.
It's fine.
God rest his soul.
God rest his soul. God rest his
Thoughts
soul.
and prayers.
Lots of praise.
Dude, I legit love the Jackass movies though.
Oh, God, this is a tough one. That time it was Action Bronson. It looked like Action Bronson.
What do you think,
He
Jerry?
said 50 earlier. I think he wants 50 Cent.
No. Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Who?
Jordan.
Michael B. Jared.
That's what you say to get him into the role. That's what
I
you
don't
say to
know,
motivate him.
He's like, I'm not
Oh,
sure.
that is a good one.
Michael B. Jordan.
I think for me, I would want
Jared.
Charlie Day, but I'd want them to make him look taller.
Put on stilts.
Like whatever they got to do to make him taller. Whether it be like CGI his head on someone who is tall.
Or
Jimmy
Jamie Foxx.
Foxx would be good.
What would be the tone of your movie?
What about the guy who played Black Panther?
I mean, the same tone I heard.
No.
Really?
Too
No.
bad.
Was that not?
Too
Oh, that
African.
played Black Panther. I thought you said played in Black Panther, and I was like,
That's Michael B. Jordan.
What would the tone of your movie be? Mine would be some sort of. Mine would probably be a rom-com.
Might be a dark comedy, for sure.
Yes. Mine would be a rom-com. Seth Rogen's good at those.
Billy'd be like an American Pie.
No.
You live in a house full of dudes,
Listen.
and y'all.
Listen.
Fuck.
No. Oh, we fuck.
Yeah, y'all smash.
Shit, they know.
Y'all fucking smash.
Get your cock socks ready,
I don't know. I
Daniel.
kind of feel like mine would be like a Spike Jonze kind of movie.
Mike Jones.
Like, have you seen the movie Her?
Oh yeah, you mean like
Okay.
one of the okay. I
Like,
see what you're
with,
saying.
like that kind of
Yeah.
setting.
Where it's like a kind of a dark romance.
Like it's still kind of lighthearted, but
Yeah, but
it's still got
yeah.
I'd have to say
Giles would be slapstick.
I would say a weird mix of dark comedy, tragedy, and feel good.
Mine would be like
BoJack
the
Horseman,
Smosh
but
movie.
with a happier ending.
Mine would be like the Smosh movie.
The Smosh movie.
Or fucking Fred. Remember the Fred movie?
Oh my god.
John Cena's dad, canonically.
Dude,
I know.
John Cena is canonically Fred's dad.
Mine would be the Matrix movies, but all the way through it be good.
But
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, that's a good edit to the movies. It's just good all the way through this time.
Which I actually enjoy every single Matrix movie. I can see why people would say that some of them are bad.
I don't think I've ever sat down and like fully watched one of them. I've seen bits and pieces of all of them. But I feel like I need to sit down and actually watch those movies.
Oh, fucking, what was that movie I'm thinking of?
The Smosh movie.
No,
The
not
Fred
that one,
movie.
not that one. The director for Yorgos Lanthimos.
I have no idea
The
what
dude
you're
who
talking
did like The Lobster and The Killing of a Sacred Deer.
about. I've not seen either of those movies.
Those are like both such dry movies that it's like cringy and painful and like also silly and weird.
You know what fucking dry movie I saw and it pissed me off?
What's that?
Fucking, The Dead Don't Die.
Did you not like it? I've heard a lot of good stuff about it.
Fuck no, dude. That movie sucks.
Yeah, apparently
Keep that in mind. I don't say movies suck often.
Okay. What did you
This
not?
movie
Was it just
fucking
too
sucks.
dry for you?
It was dry, no attempt at jokes. They kept bringing up the fact that it's a movie.
Yeah, they kept getting really meta apparently.
Yeah,
And
you probably wouldn't like The Lobster. or
At
any
one
of those.
point, they just like, fuck the spoiler. I don't fucking. At one point,
But spoiler.
yeah, spoiler. The fucking 3, 2, 1. At one point, like Adam Driver just has this whole fucking thing the whole time. It's like, yeah, I knew this. I knew something bad was gonna happen. And at finally, like at the climax of the movie, Bill Murray's just like, why do you keep saying that? What's going on? Why do you say that? And he's like, oh, you don't know. And he's like, no, I don't know. Why you keep saying it? It's like, well, because I read the script. It's in the
Oh
script.
my god.
And then at one point, a fucking UFO comes and picks up a character that was apparently an alien the whole time.
Was that the bad thing?
No, and he's like, Bill Murray's like, is that in the script? It's like, not the one I read.
Good.
Yeah, it sucks. It's awful. I hate it.
Good.
I've got to see
The
this
only-
to really like
Yeah.
tell whether I'd like the way you described it sounds fine.
The only bit that I fucking laughed at because it was stupid was there's like this scene of like a murder scene from Zombies,
Yeah.
and there's a waitress and like two waitresses. And one by one, the three cops show up at different times.
Mhm.
Take a long look around, like same shot composition and everything. Like come in, look left 3 seconds, look right 3 seconds, stare into the camera 3 seconds, walks out. It's like, so what do you think it was? That wild animal? Several wild animals? And they say that. They repeat that shit 3 times. It takes 7 minutes. Maybe 20. 20.
Oh my god.
This sounds
And
like
then they brought it back. Like later on, a news story is playing. It's like, what could only be thought of as attack from a wild animal, possibly several wild animals.
you know what this
I
sounds
was
like?
like, God fucking damn it,
You know what
stupid.
this sounds like?
What?
That fucking movie you showed me that dude made in your fucking school where they like do takes and they just didn't cut it out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
that was a
Like, yeah, Dead Don't Die. I hate it. A lot of people hate it. You know,
I've heard a lot of good stuff about it. That's
I
why
thought
I'm
it was
surprised.
going to be funny.
Yeah.
I went into it and I did not laugh once except for that fucking part because
Mhm.
it was a chuckle as I was saying, God damn it, because they keep bringing the bit back.
So I was thinking about. I was sitting on the toilet. And I was really thinking about the Dora the Explorer movie
Oh yeah.
Okay.
and the fact that they're doing
It
one.
looks not that bad.
It's kids Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Looks not that bad.
So I was thinking
What?
Nothing.
I was thinking about it, and I I saw in the trailer where they like showed what Boots looks like.
Oh, he looks awful.
And I was like, whatever. It's
He
a
looked
CGI.
like a monkey.
It's a CGI purple monkey or some shit.
No, he's like silver in this. Or...
Whatever. But like I thought about it and I was like, I wonder what they're gonna do for a Swiper. And then I thought like, as an adult, what they could do that would just be really funny is like if just throughout the movie, like while the characters are like talking or bickering, she just like had her backpack in the background, and you just saw like a realistic fox just come out and just steal some shit and run away. And then like by the end of the movie, they're like, "Fuck off!" Like they eventually notice it and they're like, "Leave!"
Have you seen the trailer where he's actually in the trailer?
Oh no, I'm not.
They show like a 2-second clip, and it's like an actual standing up fox,
like
and he's got like the bandana on and stuff.
Anthropomorphic.
And he does like this little salute thing with his paw, where he's just like, and then that's it. He's in the trailer for 2 seconds.
Okay, well, that's not what I wanted then.
This is a very sneaky furry.
Yeah, basically.
It's just a rascally little fox.
What do we got next?
Well, I got one here. Dream vehicle, fictional or real? What your dream vehicle would be?
Ava. And you would just use that for like
just
getting around.
Getting around.
Okay.
Dude, absolutely.
I don't want to.
Imagine like going to this ice cream place and then you just see a giant mech.
An Ava or Cloud's bike from Advent Children.
I would want a mech that like could move like a mech, but also like fly like a jet. So
you want like a transformer?
No, I'm thinking like I can't remember what they're called. It's in have you played Nier Automata? Like the little jet mech things that they're in, where like they can stand up and shoot in them, but they can also like speed mode around. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
I'm just not really a vehicle person. I could just say like, oh, I just want a big mech, but like.
Yeah, I mean, I like the motorcycle in Akira. I mentioned that in one episode.
Yeah. I mean, like if we're talking about like a realistic car, I like luxury cars a lot more than I like sports vehicles. A lot of people are like, oh, I want a car to go real fast, but like my main, if I'm putting a lot of money into a car, it's because I want like the interior and like the bells and whistles on it to be really cool.
That's right.
As long as it gets from A to B and goes like regular speeds, I don't really care that it can go. Yeah, like I don't care that it goes like 0 to 60 and whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for horsepower.
I think like if I'm talking to realistic, my like dream car would be like just like a nice ass Tesla with like all this shit in it. Like all of it, like pump it full of all of the dumb stuff they have,
all the bells and whistles, anything you can put in it, luxury seats, like it's, just a real comfortable
the ludicrous
ride.
Mode and everything,
a real comfortable ride. I don't really care how fast it goes.
A Pagani, but it's been through Pimp My Ride.
A Bugatti, but it's worse.
TVs. The whole car's a TV now.
A Bugatti, but it's worse.
We're gonna add 100 pounds to your back of your car,
so that it doesn't go as fast as it should.
We're gonna put a mini fridge and a grill back there, just in case you ever want a mini fridge and grill.
Yeah. I think it would be cool to just get a minivan and just like take it to exhibit. Like today exhibit and just be like, hey, dude.
Also, like, get the fuck away from my house.
another neat vehicle to have would be like a really nice van that like the back of it is just like
chilling,
nice chill hangout looking area.
Yeah, like a real nice like bus, or
like almost like a small room on wheels.
Yeah.
Small bus from my neighbor Totoro or whatever.
The cat bus.
Yeah, actually.
I don't want to be inside of a cat like that.
I think the DeLorean would be cool.
What do you think, Giles?
Yeah.
Like I'm a huge Back to the Future
Not
fan,
really. So. I would be real. I couldn't give a fuck about cars, so I'd probably just get a nice Tesla.
Yeah, I mean
that would be a good car.
Yeah, again, yeah,
you
just
know
like
what?
a Tesla with all the shit would
Will
just
it
be
ever
cool.
break down?
None of us are like,
I'm sure.
Then I can't afford it. So
in this scenario, you can afford the damn car.
You can afford any car you want.
And
they've given you infinite money that you can only spend on said car.
Yeah, than Tesla. Yeah. It's like if that's the case,
themed after Dodogama.
Yes.
Just this dopey face on the front.
It like glows on little spots around it.
Explodes.
And then explodes. Going out in style.
Yeah, I saw a fucking vehicle the other day, and again, yeah, I'm not a super big vehicle person, but like it was a Jeep pickup truck, and like Haley hates the way it looks, but I thought it looked neat. It like looked like an old truck. It looked cool.
Yeah, I like a lot of the. If I were to, like for instance, like I drove that car in high school.
Yeah, your little pimp wagon.
It was like a 1983 Plymouth Grand Fury. It was a big steel-bodied car. I mean, it looked like something a pimp would drive around in, or maybe a drug dealer. And
that's
honestly,
what yours looked like.
Yeah,
yours
that's
looked
what
like
mine looked like.
A rundown drug dealer car.
Either way, like I didn't really mind. Like the outside of it looked fine, honestly. If the interior,
shape was great and stuff. Yeah.
The interior. If the interior of it had been modernized, I would have loved having that car for longer than I did. It was so. I do like the look of classic cars because I don't. I mean, like I don't like. Again, I'm not about how fast the car can go. So like all the streamlining they do for cars, where they're like this car can go really fast, so obviously it has to be more aerodynamic. Like a lot of that stuff looks to me.
I mean, I would only like that for like the saving money on gas aspect. Yeah, but that's it.
But yeah, I mean. Please sponsor us, Tesla. Your cars are nice. We would all
listen. If you send me a free Tesla, I will write a nice tweet about you.
The nicest tweet. I'm telling. I'll use all the nice words.
I could. You know what? Nah, I'm bringing it back. I'm gonna get an El Camino.
That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Again,
it's a truck and a car. It's the fucking coolest.
Someone in our apartment complex has one of those. Like it's like matte colored and stuff. I think it could look a lot better, but it has a cool body.
When I was in high school, I really liked the look of. And I still do, but like I remember for a while, I wanted a Dodge Magnum. I just like how they're not like a cheap. Magnum. They're not like an expensive car. They're
it's just a realistic car.
The look of the car is something that I just like because it was rounded off in the back and it was a long car. It had a lot of trunk space.
Have you seen like? And I hate that I like them. They're like the new like Subaru station wagons.
No,
they look kind of neat.
Dude, I love Subarus. I just wish they weren't so expensive to fix. Otherwise, I like really want one.
Have you seen the concept stuff for like the new Volkswagen bus?
Oh, no. It looks so.
It looks fucking ridiculous. I like it a lot though.
It's just a bus though. It's just like.
I mean, I'll show you. I'll show you.
Throw it
up. Throw it up there. But it looks neat.
Right. Well, I'm looking at some other hypotheticals.
We'll probably have enough time for one more, so make it a good one.
All right, we'll end this one fittingly then. There's one here that says, "How would you prefer the world to end?"
Like, if you got to pick how the world ends, how would you?
How would you prefer the world to end? I would want the world. I would want an asteroid to hit the Earth. Oh, those do look cool. I weirdly like those. I don't know why. It reminds me of Jello.
Yeah, it's like very round, but like fun to look at.
I wouldn't mind having a Volkswagen bus.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
But yeah, I want a meteor to hit the Earth, and I want to be close enough to the impact for it to immediately kill me.
So you wouldn't want it to be like.
I don't want to deal with the fallout. I just want it to be in an area where this meteor just.
Well, if the meteor's big enough, there's no fallout.
Yeah, no, I just mean like, well, if depending on what it is, like,
it might
say
take
a meteor hit one side of the Earth, and the other side of the Earth survives it, but there's all this dust and like fallout of like what would happen.
No, we're talking about a situation where like everybody dies. There's no surviving. I mean, yeah, in that situation, like, hits one end of the Earth, and this might take a minute to.
Yeah, I still want to be hit on the end that just doesn't even realize what happened.
Yeah.
I want a shard from space to come and slam down into the North Pole, and it slowly corrupts the Earth from the top. All the ground becomes black, and everything is just like falling apart. And the moment that it touches you, you turn to dust immediately.
Wow!
It's the never-ending story.
So I feel like
that's intense.
Fucking cool to look at. But
no,
you already know you're gonna die. So
the third impact.
Cool.
Yeah, another one that would be interesting if I had to pick a different way would be there's all the theories of like what would happen if the Earth got sucked in a black hole.
Ooh, yeah,
that would be interesting.
I think that would be cool.
Like the moments before like you get sucked in and like everything on Earth just stretches.
Yeah.
Kaiju fights. I want
you want to die in a kaiju fight?
All out kaiju fights everywhere. So much so that it kills all living people.
You're just like, You're just like watching one
I want to die as collateral damage of kaiju fighting.
So it's extreme.
They won't
Godzilla.
eat you though.
Every
Godzilla will just slap you.
There are monsters in Godzilla that will eat you.
Godzilla just won't eat people.
Yeah, that's the only rule.
My only stipulation to this is Godzilla has to win.
He's the only thing left.
As long as I die. It doesn't even have to be the Godzilla universe. It could be the fucking Ultraman universe or anything. Like as long as it's kaiju, it could be fucking Pacific Rim. I don't give a two tits.
I don't give a fuck.
As long as it's big ass monsters. As long as I know when I die, monsters are taking over. I'm good.
Yeah, I'll jump on the kaiju train.
You'll die on the kaiju train.
Absolutely. That would be cool as shit.
At least you I mean, you know you're gonna die, but like at least I get to watch some cool shit.
Some amazing shit right beforehand.
Choose. I would either choose the meteor thing, but we know it's coming, so you'll have like that last week of everyone just doing something.
There's a movie about that. What's it called?
I have no clue.
I think it's called just the end of the world.
I've never seen a movie ever.
That's why you went to school for it, because you wanted to make one, so you could finally see one.
Want to see what all the hubbub was about.
Who wants to watch someone else's movie?
I want to watch a movie I make.
Watch my movie.
Who looks at other people's art? I just want to make art.
Either that or Zombie Apocalypse, but not one of the fucked ones. Like I do Walking Dead zombies because no one should die in that show. Ever.
Well, then that world wouldn't end.
It will eventually.
How?
Zombies don't die.
In The Walking Dead, they do.
Walking Dead universe, zombies don't die. Eventually, they'll get everyone.
So you just want like a slow burn.
Yeah.
You want to have some fun at the end of the.
Well, and here's like a slight spoiler. They find out pretty early on, but it's like pretty much everyone in the Walking Dead universe is infected with the virus. It's just when you die, you become a zombie.
Yeah. So eventually, everyone will be a zombie.
Yeah. So no matter what, everyone's going to be a zombie unless there's a cure for it, which that's not going to happen.
No.
I just feel like it'd be so cool. It wouldn't be cool, but it'd be so interesting to watch people like fucking. You're running, and people around you just
dusting,
turning to dust, but not like Marvel way where it's like slow thing. I just want it to be like. Yeah,
like
you just, and it's not even like the dust just falls to the ground; it starts going up in the air.
Oh,
so again, borderline third impact.
Yeah, like it'd just be so fucking cool, but obviously at the same time not.
Yeah,
that's how I feel though. That's why I'm like, I'd rather watch a kaiju fight that kills everybody.
Because it'd be an interesting experience before I'm, perished from the plane.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I feel like in any of these situations, it's neat to think about like. The kind of stuff that would go on if all of a sudden everything was terrible and like it was apparent that you weren't making out. Yeah, like this isn't necessarily that, but it gave me this feeling when I watched it. That movie Crawl, the one about the alligators and Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Without spoiling too much, I mean, there's obviously it's like during a Florida hurricane and like it's one of the bad ones where like stuff gets flooded. And it's like showing a scene with these like looters who find a flooding gas station that was obviously abandoned before they could get all the resources out. Yeah. And so they just start stealing stuff from the gas station and stuff like that is just interesting to like, and that's why I guess like Fallout is an interesting game in the sense that it's like imagine like existing and like walking around in like what used to be a civilization or something like that has now just been. Turned on its head by like some event.
Yeah, like the reformation of society and like what determines what's valuable anymore.
I mean, that's why people like The Last of Us. Because like it's just a world where like all of a sudden everything went wrong. And like, there's characters in that game that like don't know what it was like beforehand.
Yeah, it's
and like they just see all this old stuff that's like being reclaimed by the earth.
It's like this is all they've ever known.
Yeah.
Like, same in the Fallout universe. It's like there's people that have no idea that anything really existed before the world was this way.
Yeah.
Like
they just have stories and like archives, but nothing.
I love the Fallout universe.
Yeah, man, it's great. Post-apocalyptic stuff is just cool.
I also love the Days Gone universe, but the game wasn't good.
Days Gone. That's
I
the
heard
most,
Days Gone
that's
is
the
zombie.
biker one, right?
Yeah, it's biker zombie.
Mm.
The game didn't look. Yeah, the game definitely didn't appeal to me as a game, but it appealed to me as a universe. I agree.
Like graphically, it looked good. It looked okay. It didn't look anything groundbreaking, but
I watched somebody play the entire thing.
Really?
60 episodes.
I Am Legend.
It's an hour-long thing.
I Am Legend. That's a cool one to me.
Yeah.
Where it's
Yeah.
similar to like the Days Gone thing, but like they're like the sunlight vampires.
and they're kind of strong. It's like they're smart.
Oh yeah,
They're
yeah,
smart.
but they can only come out at night and stuff like that. Like I don't think. I mean, yeah, obviously no one would survive it, but I think that like.
It just reformed society in a huge way.
Well, are you talking about the books or the movie?
I guess the movie. I haven't seen the book.
Okay.
Does it reform society in the books?
The books are different because in the book they do the whole thing where like Will Smith's character is like one of the last humans, and like these vampire things have like created their own society themselves.
Whoa.
And they're like hunting him because like you're killing our people.
Yeah, you should stop it.
Yeah. Like they're smart, but I don't think they can like communicate.
He's the cryptid.
Yeah, he's the asshole. But you don't learn that until the end, and you figure out like they've got like kids and stuff and things like that.
Okay, well, this was a fun episode. Let me know when you make it home. I'm giving you a kiss. Just
Drive safe.
drive safe.
Text us. All that good stuff.
Bye.
Bye.